Hello and welcome to the Post Up Podcast. It has been a minute. My name is Cyrus Rogers.
It's been a second. I'm Kaunda, Chama.
So just over 60 seconds or so.
You know. Yeah.
Okay, fine. We're not going to count the seconds. But we're back. The Post Up Podcast is back in full effect. And we are building up towards the new NBA season. Kaunda, it's been a long wait to see the guys in action.
Yes, but it's been one of the most anticipated seasons in recent history, Cyrus. I mean, you take it back to, let's say, when the Zeros started, up to now. You know, we've seen LeBron come into the league. We've seen Allen Iverson leave. You know, we've seen a lot of things happen. We've seen Kobe
always
retire.
big stuff.
But this season coming, Cyrus, it is so exciting. The movements, the rookies, the coaches. I mean,
it's actually been really surprising to see
fantastic.
Just how much, because, you know, it's almost like you have a new LeBron entering the scene with Zion Williamson.
Absolutely.
And the hype around him. And then while that's happening, you got a KD leaves the Warriors, and then he goes to the Nets, and the injuries and all of that stuff. Okay, we'll get into that. But before we get into that, let's show a little bit of love to our sisters in the WNBA who have been superb. The WNBA Finals were incredible.
Cyrus, we watched that season come to a close from the beginning to the end, and I think big shout out to the Washington Mystics. Elena De La Don gets her first ring and championship, and so do the Mystics at the same time. And I think you're a Christy Tolliver fan, and I know you love Seattle. I know you love Seattle, but you've got some of your favorites in Elena De La Don. You called her as the MVP, which she got, and then you're a big fan of the way Christy plays. So you were happy there.
I really was. You know, it's weird because when your number one team doesn't make the finals, you know, you got to try and find somebody else who you kind of like to root for. And I'm always a fan of the underdog, and I kept thinking, but maybe it's the Connecticut Sun. But for me, there was just something about De La Don, something about Christy Tolliver. Goodness me, she was balling. And they just deserved it. The Mystics really deserved it.
Yeah, Cyrus. I mean, De La Don, first of all, I know we keep hopping on her, but she came back from that injury to come and take that MVP, and the team was just clicking. At a certain point, I thought it was even going to go towards maybe like just a straight-up sweep, but the Connecticut Sun were not going to take it.
We've got to give credit to them.
They came back. I mean, Jonquel Jones and crew, those girls brought it. And I think for those who don't watch the WNBA, I'm telling them now, watch the WNBA. Cyrus, it's so exciting.
It really is.
It is the same game we watch with the men.
Guys,
And I think it's played at exactly the same level.
You know what? There might not be as many dunks, obviously, right? But when you look at the technical ability of these ladies and the skill levels, I mean, they're just incredible. People who love basketball, gotta watch basketball, gotta watch the WNBA.
Definitely gotta watch the WNBA. But Cyrus, the other reason we're here.
Yes.
The new season.
We're talking about the new season. So I think what we should start with is just a little bit of a discussion around what we're looking forward to the most.
Okay.
You know, and let's start with the sort of top teams. Are there teams in the East that you're really, really looking out to seeing this season?
Yes, Cyrus. Look.
I'll give you 3 teams.
You give me 3 teams.
You can't just pick every single team.
Because you know me, I go 1 to 15 on you. I go 1 to 15 on you. Look, first of all, it's a pity Kevin Durant won't be playing, but the Brooklyn Nets are looking solid. Last season, they were great. Obviously, they've lost one, D'Angelo Russell, who's gone to the Golden State Warriors. But I still think them taking on Kyrie is a great move. And I just so wish Kevin Durant had been healthy, because that would have made them a force in the East. And you know, Brooklyn, much like the Clippers in the West, has always been the little brother to the New York Knicks. Although the New York Knicks haven't done much
skinny
for a while.
cousin.
You know what I'm saying?
Cousin that doesn't eat at home but likes to come chow at your house.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think the Brooklyn Nets will still be a team to look out for. They've still got Spencer Dinwiddie's and them. They're still there. Caris LeVert is still there. Jared Allen, who was blocking everybody last season. But you know, bringing in Kyrie as a leader, as a de facto leader at the moment before KD comes in, and there's that toss-up about who's the leader. But another team, and I can't go without mentioning this, the Philadelphia 76ers.
Yeah.
I believed last season, Cyrus, and I'm believing again. Kawhi Leonard dashed their dreams. We all remember that shot.
He did. No. How many more bounces could you get?
You know what I'm saying? That 5-bounce shot, it buried the finals dreams. But Look, I still believe, and them bringing on an Al Horford, who is a solid big man in the paint.
He really is.
Him alongside Joel Embiid,
yeah.
That's just a force to be reckoned with.
And then we're seeing, mystical stuff like Ben Simmons scoring threes in preseason.
It is not mystical. It's a thing. It's a thing. That boy, we teased him for so long. He's just like, I'm going in the lab. He was in the lab. He was in the gym. He was working out. He was, working on that three-pointer.
He has only hit one three-pointer that we are aware of.
The season hasn't started. We
true.
haven't been watching what he's been doing.
True.
And I've watched videos where he actually bet people money and hit 3 threes from center court. So I'm not going to count that.
So you're saying, let's see what happens with Ben. Plus, Tobias Harris is there.
Tobias Harris still there.
They've got a really great team.
They lost a couple of pieces, but they're still, I think, very solid. My third team, I got to keep it real. And go back to Boston.
Okay.
Boston Celtics.
Okay, but this is a team you're looking to see. You want to watch. You're not necessarily saying they're going to win.
There's been some changes in that. Obviously, they lost Kyrie.
Yeah.
They lost Terry Rozier.
Yeah. But they lost Al Horford.
So they lost 3 big pieces.
They lost Aaron Baines.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Aaron Baines is fine.
So basically, everybody been jumping ship.
No, but they've still got some good pieces.
Yeah.
Because they gained Kemba Walker.
Yeah.
They got one of the tallest guys in the world on a 2-way contract in Taco Fall. I know he hasn't played an official NBA. Well, he has a preseason.
Yeah, he has not played an official regular season NBA game yet.
But I still think at that size, he can do some stuff. And what I've been seeing in the preseason, Cyrus, do you know who's going to be the heart of this team?
Tell me.
Marcus Smart.
But Marcus Smart's always been that guy.
But now he's really going to step up because Kyrie's not there.
Yeah.
Terry Rozier is not there. So he's got youngsters like Jason Tatum. Obviously, Kemba Walker and him, I think their ages might be closer.
Yeah.
But Kemba Walker is just that efficient guard, right?
Yeah.
He won't be there getting in people's faces and riling them up and getting that blood flowing at that, 1,000,000% level. But Marcus Smart is that guy. And I've been seeing
he plays with heart.
He plays with he reminds me of who's the heart of the Clippers?
Oh, you're talking about Pat Bev.
Pat Bev, Marcus Smart, same guy, cut from the same cloth. And I think this season he's going to step up in a big way and show them that, I'm one of the leaders. He is the Draymond Green.
Okay.
Of the Boston Celtics. So that's my 3 from the
And I get that. The heartbeat of a team, you got to have that. And there's lots of other people you can look at. Enes Kanter on that team. You want to see what happens with Gordon Hayward.
Absolutely.
Jaylen Brown, whether or not he managed to develop any further. And also to see what happens with Coach Brad Stevens, because he's showed he's a good coach.
Yep.
Maybe he can get the most out of this team, because that East is looking like it's going to be tough again.
No, it's going to be tough again. For the first time, a non-LeBron having East looks like it's going to be hectic.
It really does, considering it was hectic last season,
Kind of, sort of.
It really was. When you looked at the Bucks, when you looked at the Sixers, you looked at the Raptors, and all of these guys, and it turned out that the Raptors will go on to win the championship. So, it's really interesting. For me, my 3 teams that I'm looking forward to seeing in the East, I got to start with the Raptors. I want to see what happens with the champs. Obviously, losing Kawhi Leonard is going to be a massive deal for them. But it's also an opportunity for somebody like Pascal Siakam to become the face of the franchise, to become the new leader of that team that they really rally behind. And they're going to play team ball. They always have.
Yep.
And they'll need all of their players to try and lift their games to a new level.
Do they only have 1 All-Star left now?
Kyle Lowry. That's it. That's basically it.
But in my books, Pascal Siakam is All-Star adjacent.
I think he's going to be an All-Star. I really think he's going to be an All-Star.
All-Star adjacent.
Because he's going to be an All-Star this coming season. Mark my words. When you look at it, the Raptors are going to be putting in pretty good performances because they're a good team. They're the champions.
Yep.
And the person who's going to be leading them is going to be Pascal Siakam, who's already won the Most Improved Player of the Year.
Yep.
His next level of improvement is going to be an All-Star level. That's what I see happening with the Raptors.
Then from their MVP, are we looking
at
a Giannis type of progression here?
It's not impossible, but he'd have to do a heck of a lot more shooting-wise.
All right.
I think that if his shooting and his mid-range becomes, a real weapon, possibly even develop a really consistent three-point shot, it's tough to see how you stop him, because he's got the length, he's got the speed, and he's also got the agility, his spin moves, and his defensive caliber. I mean, there's a lot to like about Pascal Siakam. And people might laugh and say, Pascal, MVP. Crazier things have happened.
Absolutely. No, Cyrus, I won't look past that. back in the days, we said, when are we going to get our next African MVP?
And we got Giannis, and now we've got Pascal potentially going down that route.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's one team. Then the next team I have to agree with you on here is the Philadelphia 76ers. I am excited to see what they do in the Eastern Conference. I think that they are going to be the team to push for a championship, because when you look at the pieces that they have, yes, they have lost guys as well. They've lost shooting in JJ Redick. He's going to the New Orleans Pelicans. But look at the guys that they have in that roster. Like you mentioned, Simmons, Harris, Horford, Embiid. That's a really great core of players that can take them somewhere. So the Sixers, I'm definitely down with them. I want to see what they do. My third pick might be a little left field for a couple of people, right?
The Milwaukee Bucks.
I've been thinking about it. It was a toss-up, right? This is a team that I want to watch, not necessarily a team that's going to do much.
Okay.
The Atlanta Hawks.
Maybe you just like Vince Carter. I don't know.
The reason I bring up the Atlanta Hawks is I've got a lot of faith in John Collins. I like what he's doing.
Great player.
I love Trae Young. I absolutely love Trae Young.
Did you see what he did to one JJ Redick in the preseason?
This is what's great about Trae Young, is that his rookie season, he could have been Rookie of the Year.
Yep.
Right? Lost out to Luka Doncic. That's fine. I don't see Trae Young dropping off in his second season. I think that the things that he did well last season, in his first season, will be the things he does well and improves on
this season.
All right. Also, I've been reading a lot about how he's been working, because nobody's really paying attention to him, because frankly, Zion fever's gripped. People are looking at all sorts of other teams and franchises. But Trae Young's going out there and he's also working on trying to emulate who he said is his iconic star that he's trying to become,
Steph Curry.
Steve Nash.
Steve Nash? I thought it was Steph Curry.
Now, the thing is, everybody focuses on his shooting, but his most important factor is his passing. And I think we're going to see a lot more from Trae Young in the Atlanta Hawks this season. Not necessarily pushing for some greatness, but in terms of being a team that you just enjoy watching play. They've got a great young coach. They've got a great young team. Kevin Huerter is one of the best young shooters in the NBA. Mark my words, there's going to be some incredible things happening. And I'm also going to talk about another one of the guys a little bit later when we talk about African players looking out for. But I'm going to mention him now, Bruno Fernando. That our Angolan brother.
Southern Africa's very own. I'm claiming him as a Southern African.
He is.
We have too few of those.
No, he's there, most definitely. The thing for me is watching, and the Hawks really got beat up in preseason games. They were not doing stuff.
That's preseason.
But he was out there putting in performances, blocking players, and he looked so solid. He has to work on other aspects of his game, but I think Bruno Fernando could be somebody that we're looking out for. So that's my teams in the East. Yeah, you can laugh, but I want to see what happens with the Hawks.
No, look, I'm not going to laugh too loud, because remember, one season ago, I said I'm going to be watching the Orlando Magic.
Yeah.
And you and once Bushongwe had a good laugh.
We totally laughed at you.
What happened?
Yeah, they
were
made
actually
the playoffs.
A great team to watch.
Playoffs.
They pushed, they hustled, and they made the playoffs. So, I'm not going to say, the Hawks, until the playoffs come.
Yeah, well, I think our next show, we're definitely going to have to look at permutations to where we think people will be when the season starts and what happens in the conferences. But for now, we're just really talking about things that we want to see as the new season comes up. So, East, we've covered. West.
We go to the West. Cyrus, to the West. You know me.
Yeah.
I'll be watching.
Yeah, I know you. Oh, you
I'll be watching the
eye roll emoji.
You know what I'm saying? Insert eye roll emoji there. I gotta take two teams from Los Angeles, and first of all, the Lakers. They're my team. I'm a LeBron supporter. I've been a Kobe supporter, a Magic supporter.
No, you're
Kareem,
a Lakers guy.
I'm a Lakers guy.
You don't need to show us your credentials. We know.
So now they've got Anthony Davis and LeBron, and Dwight Howard is looking very promising.
Yeah.
Kyle Kuzma is still very young and in there. Rondo's still there. They've got one Avery
KCP.
Bradley. Avery Bradley who wants to prove himself. They've got KCP in there. I think in terms of a core and a bench depth, they've got much much of a better outlook than they did last season.
No, without a doubt.
Which was a disaster, and then it added to LeBron's injury.
And a new coach,
and
Frank
everything
Vogel.
fell apart. Yeah, and they've got the new coach in Frank Vogel, which I think is a good place to be. I don't think the previous coach really worked.
I mean, you can say his name, Luke Walton.
Luke Walton. Yeah, we had our doubts about Luke, and I think he tried. He did the best he could do, but like I think it's time to give it to a more experienced guy like a Frank Vogel and see where they can take it. So I could talk forever about the Lakers. You know that. So let me just keep it moving.
So the Lakers is your first team in the West.
Lakers the first. I'll be watching them. I got the jerseys. I got everything. Banners. My house is gold,
bedspread,
purple and gold.
Everything.
I got everything. I don't think the wife would go with a bedspread. That might have to be in the man den downstairs. Second team still in LA, the LA Clippers.
Yeah.
The boy Kawhi Leonard. You know we both got mad respect for Kawhi Leonard. Now, teaming him up with one Paul George is fantastic. And then you've still got Patrick Beverley. You've still got Montrezl Harrell. You've got Sweet Lou Williams. You've got such great pieces in there.
Yeah.
And who's the rookie from last season?
No, he's gone.
Oh, he's gone.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander,
is now at Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah.
Damn, he would have made a great piece.
Landry Shamet
is a great player. Plus, they took one of my favorites from the Lakers. I'm still mad at Magic for this. Big Zoo.
Yeah.
Big Zoo.
Ivica Zubac is gone.
Ivica Zubac is part of the Clippers, and I think he's a great guy. He's going to grow to be a great big man. He's going to dominate the paint. He's got a decent shot on him as well. So
I like him.
I think the Clippers, if the Lakers don't look out, they'll become the little brother in Los Angeles.
It's definitely possible.
Because these Clippers are looking solid. I saw their new kit today on the social streets.
It's looking
nice. Great. It is so LA.
Did you even mention Anthony Davis when you mentioned the Lakers?
Of course I did.
Just making sure.
Anthony Davis. How could I forget Anthony Davis? I mean, look.
That's
dude,
my guy.
Hey, that dude. And I think that's a perfect place for him to be right now, especially as he chases a ring. Now, it's not about just leading.
Let's just call it plays with LeBron, so we don't want to be like chasing a ring.
Yeah, okay.
Now that he's playing with LeBron. But anyway,
LeBron.
Enough with the Lakers. We covered them. The Clippers. So you're happy with what they've constructed there?
I'm happy with what they've constructed, and they've got a championship-winning coach in Doc Rivers. So he's been there before. He's started from scratch, 82 games, gone into the postseason, and lifted the Larry O'Brien Trophy. I got mad love for Doc Rivers, although I'm a big Lakers fan. But I think Doc.
I got some problems with Doc.
You got some problems. You've just got problems with the fact that he traded his own son.
No,
that happened.
That's fine.
That's
okay.
business.
That's biblical. These things happen. Sometimes the son is on the chopping block.
Absolutely.
It was more that when they were talking about Ubuntu.
Yes.
Him and the rest of the Boston Celtics team who won the championship, because a colleague of ours and a friend of the podcast, Kita Matungulu, was talking about how he brought the concept of Ubuntu
to the Lakers, to the Clippers, to the Celtics, right? The Celtics, yeah.
And they kept saying Ubuntu.
Hey,
I mean,
there's a certain,
lost in translation.
There's a certain South African president who to this day says Limpopo.
So you're saying we should cut them some slack?
Cut them a lot of slack because they're far away.
Okay.
He was running the country.
I'm going to cut them some slack.
But
it still hurts my ears and my soul when I hear them mispronounce the word.
He was running the country.
Yeah. No, look. Things happen. Things happen. I get that.
It's like if Barack Obama had said, "Is this Arkansas?" No, sir, it's Arkansas.
I'm just saying, Ubuntu was killing me. But that's
it does sound off.
But that's fine, because it is.
Now, my third team. Yeah. You're not even gonna see this one coming.
Yeah.
The Dallas Mavericks.
Okay.
The Dallas Mavericks.
You know what? I actually like that. I like that because that, as a suggestion of teams to watch, man. Kristaps
Porzingis is healthy,
and he's been looking good in the preseason.
Luka Doncic is healthy, and they've got like the European trifecta.
That's basically,
No, they've got the European trifecta because didn't they take Marjanovic?
Yeah, Boban's there, but
so they've got a big European trifecta there happening.
They're going real Europe in this one.
Yeah, because obviously they got to build up on that legacy of one Dirk Nowitzki. But I still think they're an exciting team to watch.
Yeah.
They haven't got like all out superstars.
Yeah.
But they've got an efficient group of players that can work together. And I was hoping by the time this season came, Lob City would still be present there, but obviously. The Lob City guy, DeAndre Jordan, has now gone to the Brooklyn Nets, and it happens.
He's taken a circuitous journey to the Nets.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, sometimes you need to travel, Cyrus.
Yeah.
You need to ask one,
Just to see
ask
what's
one
going on.
Vince Carter.
Yeah.
Ask Nate Robinson. Sometimes you just gotta get around.
You get on the bus.
Absolutely.
But look, I like the Mavericks as a pick for teams to watch. I'm gonna give you my picks now, right?
All right.
Because I think a couple of them are a little, just off center. First team for me to watch. Ordinarily, I'd go with my team because that's the number one pick, and that's the Golden State Warriors.
Yep.
I will still choose them as a team to watch because I do think I want to see what happens with them. Are they able to manage without Clay for the majority of the season? KD's gone. What happens with what they try and do there? Steph is going to do a whole lot of heavy lifting. They've got a couple of exciting looking youngsters, but really it's bits and pieces in that team. You know,
you got D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah, D'Angelo Russell. Yeah, he was great at the Nets, but the combination between him and Steph, I'm not sold yet. We need to see, and that's why I want them to be a team to watch, because we want to see what happens with them, and also to see what happens with Draymond. Because sometimes you add somebody like D'Angelo Russell to that mix, and he's working with a coach like Steve Kerr, and it brings out even more from his game. So you don't really know how they're going to work. And Willie Cauley-Stein for me is a big that I really like the look of. So when he's back from injury,
he's more agile than most of the bigs you've
most
had
of the
in
bigs that have
history.
been there in the past
Those
have
slow
been
moving
really
buses that you've been
Andrew
bringing on.
Bogut, not necessarily running at full speed, but it will be interesting to see what happens when the likes of Willie Cauley-Stein is back there. He's great on the pick and roll, and whether or not the Warriors change the way they play a little bit, because obviously they're a heavy 3-point shooting team, and they make a lot of them. But if they've got an efficient big in there, it stretches them a little bit and also brings them back into the paint a little bit more.
But look, let's not forget you have a big who played with half a broken shoulder and still performed.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You know, Kevon Looney is there.
I've got so much respect for that young man, especially at the end of last season when he was like,
he definitely played well.
He's like an Enes Kanter. Like,
but I think the thing about Kevon Looney is that you don't necessarily win championships with him.
Okay.
And I think that's the thing. And this is, man, all due respect here, because I like the way he plays. I love his heart. But he's not necessarily a Dwight Howard in his prime. You get me? So you're not going to build a team around him. But I think that he gives the Warriors a heck of a lot going forward.
Especially looking at the fact that you've pretty thinned out your bench. Sean Livingston
Gosh, there are
retired.
people that are on that roster. It feels like watching old school Warriors.
Yeah, Iguodala has left, and he might even wind up with us at the Lakers if all things go well.
You keep saying that. The Grizzlies are like, why should we give him away? Anyway, I'm going to go to my other teams, right?
No, but I wanted to say before you leave the Warriors is, the most incredible thing is Stephen Curry is the oldest Golden State Warrior.
It's
to me,
nuts.
it blew my mind. I was like, how did that happen?
Well, look, he is what, 30, 31? So aging happens. He still has that baby face, but I think the thing is he's been at that franchise for so long. In fact, it's actually sad you bring that up because we're almost seeing the end of eras here. You know, LeBron will leave in the next 4 or 5 years. Steph Curry probably the same 4 or 5 years. You don't really know. So there's going to be a massive changing of the guard coming, considering that KD as well is also in his like early 30s. So
the faces of the NBA are going to change.
They're changing. They're changing completely.
James Harden could leave very soon.
Look,
you know, all of them.
There's a whole bunch. Okay, now that you're sad. Okay, my second team to watch, New Orleans Pelicans.
For what?
You say this every single time, and I keep trying to say to you, I don't know what you think is going to happen, but the Pelicans are going to be exciting to watch. They're going to be a fantastic team to watch. You keep saying this after having brought up the Dallas Mavericks, let me just say.
Cyrus.
Zion Williamson.
Okay.
With Zion Williamson is the center point to what happens with the Pelicans now.
Can we make the same point about Zion Williamson that we made about Taco Fall, as in he hasn't yet played an NBA regular
No, we can
season
definitely
game.
say that.
He's broken an NBA player's sneaker.
What I will
That's
say,
his claim to fame.
what I will say is, you're a hater par excellence. That's what comes with being a Laker, I guess.
And then
but
if you look at the current Pelicans, they're former Lakers. So, but let's not bring that up.
Yeah, no, bring it up all you want, because the thing for me is, I think we'll see the best come out of these kids now, when they're being well coached by a team who is not under the same kind of pressure as former Lakers coaches have been under in the past. This is somebody in Alvin Gentry who can bring out the very best in these young players, and he's now got flexibility. What you had when you had Anthony Davis was you played the same way. You basically played through AD as much as possible, and then you try to have bits and pieces around it. Now you've got a team that has Drew Holiday as the sort of leader, as the point guard, and then you bring in Lonzo Ball to work off him. Sometimes playing as the point guard to replace him, other times potentially as a shooting guard to maximize his passing abilities. You've got Brandon Ingram, who's now part of that mix. JJ Redick is there. Josh Hart is there. There are a lot of
Do they
really
still
good.
have Julius Randle?
Yeah, Randle is there
Randle
too.
is solid,
so,
Laker.
so when you look at it, there's a really good core. In fact, crazily, right? Because you keep bringing up the Lakers thing. This is the team the Lakers had actually put together through all of their draft picks and then sold, right? Like literally, what the Lakers were building is the New Orleans Pelicans with a Zion Williamson. Right? And the thing is, I don't expect them to go out and win the damn championship, excuse my language, but I do think that they're going to be a great team to watch, because they will be exciting. There will be a completely different feel in that Smoothie King Center, because these guys are really going to be out there balling. Tickets have been sold out for weeks and months because people are catching Zion fever. And that's exciting.
No, Cyrus, I would tease them as much as I can, but, I got enough respect for Alvin Gentry. All those players you mentioned, the former Lakers and even those that went to the Pelicans from other teams. I mean, you've still got Jahlil Okafor there trying to prove himself.
Oh,
I
wait,
think
hang on. You said
back.
Julius Randle. Sorry, Julius Randle's long gone.
Where's Julius Randle?
He's gone to the New York Knicks.
Oh, he's at the Knicks now.
I was thinking about Jahlil Okafor, yeah.
But he's there and he's trying to make something of himself.
No, Jahlil Okafor.
Being on the bench for that long,
he's got a lot to prove.
Gives you that thing that I got to prove that I am that guy that they remember. So I think we're going to see a lot from the Pelicans.
And there's a couple of other young rookies who are coming through there, because Zion took top billing. But they've got this youngster, Jackson Hayes. Man, good looking, big. He really will be somebody that I think will be interesting in the NBA going forward.
And another player that I think maybe the likes of Alvin Gentry can bring the best out of is Brandon Ingram.
Yeah,
he struggled at the Lakers, and I think the likes of the likes of an Alvin Gentry has got the potential to bring out more in that youngster
by giving him more faith,
more faith, and more responsibilities and more playtime.
But the other thing being, there's less of a spotlight. Technically, because everybody's going to be watching Zion, right? Absolutely, no question about it. So he can go out there and work on his game, become the best player he can be, and at the same time potentially show everybody what they're missing.
Absolutely.
Why were you so quick to trade me?
Yeah, there is that.
Exactly.
So who's your third team now?
The third team to look out for in the West is the LA Clippers. That for me is a no-brainer.
You done given up on the Denver Nuggets?
Look.
You done given up on
it
the
was
Utah
a bit of a
Jazz.
50-50. It was a bit of a 50-50 because the Nuggets are still going to be a great team. I actually think that one of the things I'm really keen to see is what happens with the red-shirted rookie. Didn't play last season. He's been playing in preseason now.
Lord,
gosh,
the name gone. And I saw him play the other day.
Yeah, but I think the thing is, the thing about the Nuggets is that they've put together a very solid unit. They've got a team that has an all-star in Nikola Jokic.
Yep.
You've got two guards who are really, really incredible to watch when they're on their game. Gary Harris and Jamal Murray. But I do think that they were lacking a little something last season. Paul Millsap was good, but he just couldn't get them to that next level.
As a Paul Millsap fan of sorts, I must admit that Paul Millsap sometimes looks like a shadow of his former self. And I know that sounds cliche as
in a way.
But if I remember Atlanta Hawks Paul Millsap, and I look at current Paul Millsap, I'm like, but really Paul Millsap?
But is this just because he's not necessarily beasting teams?
Yeah,
what is it?
He's not beasting, and let's face facts. Just like you and I, people are aging.
Yeah.
And you even LeBron is not LeBron number 6 from the Miami Heat. You understand what I mean? Lakers LeBron is a different LeBron altogether,
Michael Porter Jr.
Michael Porter Jr.
You know, when names disappear, they gotta come back.
Absolutely.
But the thing for me is that I think that Michael Porter Jr. is the kind of player who really could add something to this Nuggets team. The length on this guy and the shooting ability. You know, like people have compared him to like a KD because of his height, his size, and his ability to shoot. But don't forget that you got guys like Will Barton, Torrey Craig. In fact, we're busy talking about the team that I wasn't necessarily gonna watch.
Yes. Please move right along. When you got to Will Barton, I was like, let's move it on. Let's move it along. Let's go back to the team you initially selected, please.
I don't wanna.
Okay.
I think I wanna stick with the Denver Nuggets. Because when I keep looking at them, Jeremy Grant is a great addition to that team.
Well, that's why I was shocked you didn't mention them, because as far back as I can remember, you had belief in the Denver Nuggets and the Utah Jazz.
Well, the thing for me is that it's not like I'm picking them because I think they're going to go somewhere. These are teams I want to see.
You just want to watch.
See, like another team I'm really keen to watch next season is the Sacramento Kings. You know, but the thing for me is you always laugh at that suggestion, and I'm like, well, why not? But
maybe you just like watching Vladdy on the bench. I don't know, Cyrus.
Vlad is not even really going to be there, considering that you know who their coach is, right?
Yes.
Luke Walton.
One former Laker coach.
Luke Walton's a former Warrior. I like that guy. So, you know, let's see what happens. But I chose the Clippers because I want to see what happens with them. And I think I've had a soft spot for the Clippers for a very, very long time. And I think that especially underdog teams do it for me. And teams that don't necessarily feel as if they've managed to step out of the shadow of their bigger brothers in their cities. So the Clippers have always been a team who I felt, come on, do something this year. And when they had the likes of Blake Griffin, one of my all-time favorite players, Chris Paul and DeAndre Jordan, I thought this is it. Things are happening here. And it just seemed to fall apart consistently. Now, they've built a massive, solid unit where they've got players up and down the floor who can do stuff. They've got two star players in Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. And we'll have to see how that works because, you know, I'm not a big fan of signing two superstars in the same position, but they are flexible enough to make that work a little bit. And I think that depending on what happens with Lou Williams, depending on what happens with Landry Shamet, Patrick Beverley, Montrezl Harrell, you know, you've got and Danilo Gallinari, you know, I think he's still on that roster. So they've got a lot of
still
different
haven't forgiven
players.
him for what he did at the African game.
Yeah, look, you really hold on to grudges. But I think the thing is the Clippers have got a very solid roster. They can pick and choose. They don't drop defensively when people leave the court. And that, for me, is the critical thing for them. And that's what I'm keen to see is what happens with them and how that works. So we're running out of time here because, we love to talk.
Absolutely.
Who are the top three players you're looking forward to seeing this season?
The top three players are LeBron.
Yeah.
LeBron James. And King James. No, on a real.
Wasting all your picks on one guy.
On the real, LeBron James always been a guy I want to watch. See what happens there. See now that he's got Anthony Davis beside him, what's going to happen. And I've got to also go back to Joel Embiid because Joel Embiid coming into the league 2 seasons missed due to injury, and then now they've managed they've now known how to manage his load and play him longer. And I still think we haven't seen the best version of Joel Embiid.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I think he can beast much more. And I think having, an Al Horford on the 4 sometimes and having him at the 5 at the center, I want to see what he can do because now he's got real support. He's got real support at that 4
He doesn't have to battle for absolutely every rebound.
So I can't wait to see what he can do. And there's a young rookie, and I've always got to go with the rookie, Cyrus. One of them has to be a rookie. Father from Japan,
Rui Hachimura.
Mother from Benin.
No, I think it's the other way around. Actually.
Is it the other way? Other way
his
around.
dad's from Benin,
From Benin. Oh yeah, and then his mother's from Japan. He looks like he's going to be a solid big. And I think as forwards go, he's a rookie that can prove something to us. He reminds me of how excited I was about DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah.
Although DeAndre Ayton sort of like fell short a little bit towards the end there, but I still think Hachimura is going to show us some great stuff.
No, I like the picks. King James is a no-brainer for you, right?
No.
And I think that these are the players you want to see go out there and do their thing. I mean, personally, I'd be loath to pick my 3 players and say, yeah, Steph Curry's not on that list. I want to see what Steph does. I am going to say something.
But we know what Steph does.
I think Steph is going to be in the MVP conversation.
Okay. Again?
Come towards the end of the season, because he's going to have to do as much as he did in the first 2 MVPs seasons that he won. And there's going to be a whole lot of pressure on him. And I think he's going to deliver. I think he's going to be in that conversation for MVP. And I wouldn't be surprised if he wins it, but the Warriors don't do much because he's had to do a heck of a lot. So Steph is one player that I'm really looking forward to seeing. Giannis is the other player that I'm really looking forward to seeing, because this is the reigning MVP. And we haven't spoken about him. We haven't spoken about the Bucks. We haven't spoken about his team, what they've been doing. It just seems as if they're trying to find the tallest players in the NBA and put them all on one team.
Wow.
Weird.
2 Lopez brothers.
Yeah, both of them there. At least Brook is shooting the 3. Who knows what will happen with Robin as he's there. But I think the thing about the Bucks is that they don't seem to have done enough to mold a team that everybody thinks these guys will be the guys in the East. But when you've got Giannis on your team, you can't write them off.
Absolutely.
And I think that they just need to find a way to make all of that work. But Giannis is a player that I am really looking forward to seeing.
And the third player?
Okay, I think I'm going to use your tactic and choose a rookie. And man, I mean, we've mentioned Zion, and we all want to see what happens with Zion. I'm going to say this is players that I'm keen to watch, not necessarily players that are going to be doing some incredible things all the time, but Bruno Fernando. I mentioned I was going to talk about him, and he's that guy. I think I want to see, given however much game time he gets, because I don't know how much he will play this season, but the Hawks are young enough to be able to use their rookie almost throughout the beginning of the season. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Bruno Fernando. So those are my 3 players.
I actually thought you were going to say Ja Morant.
No, Ja Morant is a great player, and I think he's going to be superb and will be somebody that we'll be watching a lot of.
I think he might be an assist leader one of these days.
Well, let's see. I mean, like you said, the season hasn't started, but that's what's so beautiful about this. So we've gone through our topics, the top teams we're looking out for, the top players we're looking out for, and now we're just setting it up for the next podcast, because we're going to be looking at the upcoming season, what's going to happen in the conferences, and really give you an in-depth take from us as to who you need to be looking out for, potential champions.
Absolutely, Cyrus. And now that you spoke so much of, one Giannis Antetokounmpo, I got to give shout out to a young man at the Lakers at the moment, Kostas Antetokounmpo. I think that's the next up-and-coming Antetokounmpo. Sorry, I forgot you, brother. But I know you're gonna be something. You might not always be a Laker, but the Lakers will shine a light on you. Kostas Antetokounmpo, watch that young man.
Oh, there we go. Kaunda Chama doing what he does best, bigging up the Lakers, and also finding a way to bring in Giannis' brother. Yes. I love it. I love the
Antetokounmbros.
The Antetokounmbros are the one. We're looking forward to having you guys back on the podcast, and a great season coming up from us here on the Poster Podcast. It's goodbye for now, but see you on the next one.
Yeah, see you on the next one.